4, 3, 2.
I'm John, and tonight I want answers about common law in the midterm elections. There's no stopping us now because we're live.
John wants answers. John wants answers. Give John answers. Give John answers. John wants answers. John wants answers. Give John answers now.
Check your calendar. If it says November 13th, 2014, then we're live.
The screen says that too.
It says it too on the screen. My guest tonight is Keith Stattenfield. He's the host of Keith Explains, another fine program on this station. He's also a news junkie, a history buff, and we couldn't get anyone better.
Yeah.
It's true. We tried really hard this month to get someone better, and I thought I had this better person lined up on Monday, and then it turns out, no, they didn't want to be on the show.
Yeah. I'm
They
assuming
stopped
that they watched the show.
I don't know if they watched the show.
Well, just a few minutes of it.
It didn't take long to
Yeah,
realize
to
you
make
don't
a
want to be on
decision.
the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very short playment. But I don't think they even found out the name of the show before they stopped responding to me. If you've never seen the show before,
And you have
like the guest who did come on.
she or he has never seen the show before.
Yeah. If you've never seen the show before, it's like a courtroom drama. I'm the prosecutor. My guest is the expert witness. And you at home are in the jury. And it's your job to convict or acquit the topics. We'll be taking your tweets. You can tweet us during the show at John Wants Answer. There's no S on the end because the S is for suck. Tweet us, and then we will respond to your tweets. We'll read them to all of our viewing audience, and then we'll talk about them. We'll have some banter, maybe answer it. If you don't want to use Twitter, and who can blame them, right? Go to our website, johnwantsanswers.com. There's an S there.
Yeah.
And you can click on them.
Because that does suck, I think. Isn't that what the rule is? The
No.
S stands for suck.
No, for the URLs, it's different rules. So
Man,
it's still good.
I've got to keep up.
You can go there, click on message or something, contact. I even forget what it's called. But it'll be obvious what to click on.
You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Just click on everything.
And then
Just keep clicking. Just click.
while you're there, why not check out all of my past episodes?
Yeah.
We have some good ones.
Yeah.
That'll be a challenge to you. Find out which ones are the good ones.
Yeah, here's a hint. I'm not in them. Yeah. You still have merchandise?
I do. You can buy T-shirts. You can buy mugs.
Yeah.
You can buy
You used to always wear the merchandise.
sweatshirts.
And
I used to.
And now you don't.
We had this groundbreaking episode
Yeah.
where someone came on and said, "John, you look terrible.
Yeah.
Why don't you dress up for a change
Yeah.
and look respectable on television?"
yeah.
So now I look respectable on television.
Yeah.
Look at this. Eh?
But shouldn't you change your merchandise then? I mean, why
People
are
aren't
you
gonna buy-
selling crap that makes people look disrespectful?
Ted Baker does not sell John Wants Answers logoed merchandise. And Ted Baker is now, the...
But I think you could swing
The bar.
something. You could call. Maybe get a factory to make John Wants Answers hats.
like
A
better
little,
hats.
a little J instead of the floret.
I've got a shout out. Alex Lowe. Now, Alex Lowe right now is in our booth making the titles work. So when you saw my Twitter address, that was all him.
Okay.
He won, not one, 2 Wave Awards for his little show on the Cupertino. No, sorry, I messed it up already. Computer History Museum. So,
Wow, that's
You should-
2 more Wave Awards than I've ever won.
yes, and an equal number of awards that I have won. But I think he's won many awards in the past.
Yeah.
Like my lifetime is 2, and he won 2 this year or something. But I think he's won in his lifetime like 30.
He's one of them. He's one of them wonder kids.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
He's pretty
practically like a
amazing.
Doogie Howser.
exactly. When I look at
So
him, I think Doogie Howser.
Yeah. I look forward to him eventually hosting.
He's gonna be our boss one day. He's gonna be
You know,
Calling the shots.
the Emmys or the Tonys.
Tony's. What?
Yeah, he'll be hosting the Tonys.
Really?
Yeah.
I never went that far. This show could be made possible without the support of our executive producers, who haven't showed up today.
No.
Lisa Tamaki
Yeah.
and Brian Westphal-Lingerston.
Fullingerston.
Yes.
I've noticed you always say could not be possible without the support.
today
But it could be possible. You could just get someone else.
no, today,
Or you could stick a crowbar into your own wallet.
you weren't listening today. Today I said this show could be made possible
Could
without
be
their
made
support.
possible
Because
without
they're not
their
here
support,
today to
because they're
support
not
me.
here.
And we're still doing a show.
Yeah.
I got a new thing to say.
Okay.
I have to say this now. The opinions stated here are my own, not necessarily those of my company. I gotta say that now.
Wow.
Okay, our first topic, common law. Man, romance is in the air here at KMVT.
Is it? I mean, I agree there was a little extra romance in that piano, but
Just recently, I've heard, congratulations, you married my director.
yes, I did. I married your director.
Your wife is Loretta Beavers, who's the director of this show.
She is.
Yes, so-
Yes, it's the reason you've won 2 awards.
Maybe, yeah. There's been a lot of romance here at KMVT. You're not the only one to marry someone.
That's
met
what I've
here.
heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you have been with my director for a long time.
a long time.
Like,
a long time.
Like 28 years.
yes, like 28 years.
Something like 28 in a bit years. Now, I've known my director for some time.
Yes.
And you for some time.
28 years? Have you
Not-
known her
not
for-
quite that long, no.
Okay.
I know for a long time you chose not to get married. Well, for 20 years you chose not to get married.
Well, not all 28 years.
Okay. But for many of those years.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for the first couple of years, it probably wasn't an option. So it wasn't that we chose not to do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
This didn't
yeah.
really come up. But I remember years ago,
Years ago.
like 5
When we
years
were
ago.
young.
Let's say
when
5
we
years
didn't
ago.
have gray. Is that why you wear the hat, by the way? I've wondered.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to keep it there. You've been against marriage for quite some time.
I'm not against it. Just not participating.
Your new wife was against marriage for quite some time. Would that be a fair thing to say?
We both had our reasons.
I would say sometimes violently.
Well, just to you.
Just to me. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm the only one who got assaulted over this. What changed?
The time seemed right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us, what is common law? Now,
Well, common law or common law marriage? Because common
Okay.
law is something totally
Okay, let's
different.
talk about that. Common law
We
marriage.
could fill the rest of the show with a discussion of common law and never get to common law marriage.
let's just get to common law marriage right away and forget the other stuff.
Common law marriage is something that exists in about 9 or 10 states still.
Only 9 or 10?
Yeah, it's not many.
Oh, really? Okay.
And really only in the U.S.
I think Canada has it.
Well, Canada, but we barely count that.
You barely count that.
And common law marriage is the legal status that if 2 people present themselves to the world as husband and wife, and if they have told each other, we're husband and wife, that the legal system can then treat them as if they had actually married.
So in some states, it's not merely saying you're married. In some states, it's like if you live together for this amount of time, you're slapped with
I
this.
think if you live together for that amount of time, and the whole time you each say, we know we're not married, and you don't tell your neighbors that you're married, you tell them that we're an unmarried couple and we're living together, and you don't sign a rental lease as husband and wife, and you don't open joint bank accounts as husband and wife, that there's no point at which you magically become common law married. But for a long time, it was illegal for 2 opposite gendered adults to live together if they weren't married.
Really? In
And
my
so, yes, in your lifetime, I think.
lifetime? Wow. Was that law like one of those laws that's most ignored?
I'm not sure if it's not still on the books in some places, but it almost certainly hasn't been enforced in many years.
Okay.
But so for a long time, you wouldn't say we are an unmarried couple living together. You would say you were husband and wife without having bothered to be husband and wife, because it was an effort.
And
or
if you say that, that means you are common law? No matter how long you've been together?
some states have time limits, but yes, in general, if you present yourself to the world as husband and wife. In California, almost immediately, you could be later treated as if you were married.
Oh. You have often referred to your now sister-in-law
Yes.
as your sister-in-law.
Yes, or my sister outlaw. Yeah. But I don't think calling someone your sister-in-law is enough to bump past the supposition that you have somehow married.
Okay, so who do you have to tell for it to be meaningful? Like
I
you
think
tell
I
your
would have had to
landlord.
have referred to Loretta as my spouse in some public fashion.
What does that mean?
Signing a legal contract as husband and spouse would probably be more than sufficient.
Okay. If you tell your dog,
I think if you tell your dog, you're
Doesn't-
okay.
you're okay.
I think yeah. Because a dog cannot be compelled to testify against you in a court of law.
because it's a part of the family?
Yeah, because it's your dog. That's a
Yeah.
rule. You can't compel husbands to testify against wives, and you can't compel dogs to testify against anyone. Because dogs like everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, common law, I guess, didn't apply to same-sex people, I imagine.
It
until
did
recently.
not until same-sex marriage became itself legal. And then if there were a state in which both same-sex marriage and common law marriage both applied, then I think a same-sex couple that referred to themselves as husband and wife could be treated as husband and wife.
But they'd probably refer to themselves as husband and husband.
Husband and husband, husband.
Or-
Yeah,
or
sorry,
wife and wife.
sorry, or wife and wife.
Yeah. So now there was a difference between when the gay people wanted to get married. People said to them, "Well, you can just be
Domestic partners.
domestic partners, or domestic union, or
Domestic partners, yeah, you can
Yeah.
be domestic partners.
and
You
that'll be
get
the
a
same.
civil union.
Civil unions, yeah, but they didn't get a lot of the benefits, which is, for example, health insurance.
That's generally correct. Domestic partners generally don't get the tax benefits that accrue to married couples. Depends on the state, but domestic partners don't get any federal tax benefits because the federal government doesn't recognize any domestic partnership. There are lots of legal-ish things that apply to husbands and wives. You know, generally, husbands and wives can make medical decisions for each other. That may or may not be true for domestic partners.
Right. So
That may or may not be recognized depending on where you are in the country for domestic partners. California generally recognizes domestic partners' abilities to make medical decisions for one another.
and to visit
but
each other in the
to
hospital.
visit each other in the hospital, but if they go to Kansas to visit family and one of them falls ill, Kansas doesn't care what California thinks, and Kansas may or may not let them make medical decisions or visit each other in the hospital or whatever.
So as a common law, you kind of miss out on those things.
I mean, I talked earlier, in general, wives can't be compelled to testify against their husbands in a court of law. That's not true for domestic partners. You could compel a domestic partner to testify against the other partner.
So if you had recently committed some crimes,
Of which Loretta was aware.
and now
It may be that
she
we
became
got a
aware
quickie
of
marriage.
them,
We got a
because
quickie marriage before she could be compelled. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
that's
now-
one possible explanation.
when you got married,
It's not likely.
well, having known you for this long, when you got married,
Yes,
it was a surprise to everybody who was not you and Loretta.
no. There were about 4 other people by that point that knew.
4 people.
Well, yeah, there was a nice woman down at County Hall
Well, okay.
that took our names and gave us the
Right.
marriage license.
There's a guy you paid off to be a
Then there
witness.
was the nice woman in the room downstairs who we gave that piece of paper to, who stamped it,
So we're not
and
the
who we
two.
paid an extra $10 to be our witness.
Oh, she's a witness.
Because you got to have a
Okay.
witness. And then there's a nice woman that actually married us.
A lot of nice women involved in this.
Well, it's just 3. There were 3.
And who's the fourth person?
And then we talked to a lawyer beforehand.
Oh,
To
woman lawyer or man lawyer?
A woman lawyer.
Woman
actually.
lawyer.
Yeah.
So
Four
women
women
knew
knew.
you were getting married.
Well, 5.
Oh, who's the 5th person?
Well, Loretta.
No, I said besides you
Okay,
and
yeah,
Loretta.
4 others. Yeah.
Okay.
They may have talked. Like, we had a nice discussion with the couple in front of us in line to get married. So I guess they knew we were getting married. But they really don't know who we were.
I found out at the same time. Your mom found out.
Yes.
And your sister-in-law found out.
Yes.
And your other sister-in-law found out.
Yes.
And your dad found out. Like
Yes.
everyone found out at the same time.
That was the theory. That was the plan.
And it was shocking. Because, after 20 years, you don't
Yeah,
really
what are you
expect
gonna
that
do?
at a Halloween party.
Yeah, that's it's not
Yeah,
common.
yeah.
It's not common. It was a
So-
great party. That was a great
Yeah,
party.
yeah, good times.
Yeah.
How you going, next year, how you going to follow that up?
We don't have to follow
It's
it
going to be
up.
like a 1-year anniversary party.
It will, yeah. It's fabulous.
Which is,
It's an easy date to remember.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There's always a party.
And you're going to be dressed up every year.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Basically.
I remember you were saying years ago when I badgered you about getting married,
Yeah.
maybe Loretta said this, you weren't going to get married until your gay friends
Until our gay brethren
could get married.
could get married.
And then
and
California
then
passed a
briefly
law.
they could. And
California passed a
then we
law.
looked at each other and we were like,
Uh-oh.
what now?
And you backpedaled. You said, well, it's going to be challenged in court. So until all the challenges are over,
Yeah.
we're not going to get married.
Yeah.
And then that kind of happened.
Yeah, and then they passed Prop 8 and then they took it away again.
And then Supreme Court started ruling on all these
And
states.
then
And then
yeah.
clearly, gay
So-
marriage is going to happen
so that was
everywhere.
it. That was the
so
reason.
now that's why you got
Secret
married.
reason, yeah.
All right. Well, we have to stop for a break now. When we come back, we're going to talk about midterm elections. And we're going to take your tweets. So don't go away. There's a lot of stuff you want to see.
I don't think there's
Okay.
a lot of stuff they want to see.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Do you don't think of it? I heard people want to vote midterm elections.
The midterm elections are. Yeah.
Not as exciting?
Yeah. No, they're not. They were not. No, bad.
His team
Bad.
lost.
You think I'm...
No,
yeah.
really, the country lost. The country
The
lost.
country
is
lost.
the
His
thing.
team lost bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to see if anyone's... Do you think anyone's tweeting us? Let's see. I got to double click on that. I got to tap on that. One new tweet. What does that mean?
I
That's
mean,
me.
crazy people.
That's
Crazy
me
people are going to be great
So John,
because
you
now they
mentioned-
have more representation.
You mentioned that Keith's show is also on this fine station,
Yes.
but you're syndicated now. He's not.
Yeah, so that's not true. If someone's watching on a syndicated station and they try to find you, they're not going to
But
find
you
you.
say another show on KMBT.
Did I say? I
No,
said
you
this
said
station.
You could say.
Yeah, I messed up.
Well, I'm just going to have to get syndicated.
These Vermont people are looking on their dials trying to find you, and they can't. They
Yeah.
can't see.
I wish I could talk with a Vermont
Yeah, too
accent.
bad, John. You can't make your syndication a deal with tying Keith's show to it, right?
They would drop him like a bad.
Yeah.
Let's see if I do this. Where's the search button? There it
What
is.
station are we on in Vermont? I mean, is it like does its logo have a cow?
I don't know.
It was John who
That's
did
my
that.
assumption.
Okay, I don't see any tweets, but I'm not sure I trust this tweeting program.
No cows in
anymore.
Vermont?
Cows are ubiquitous there, so it wouldn't distinguish you from other stations.
Oh, okay. So you're saying the cow is too common.
Right, it's like
To
all
be
the
an
stations
appropriate
have a
logo.
cow, right? Yeah,
It's like underwater, every station would have to have
fish.
a picture of fish,
That
or
would be very good.
that wouldn't
You
work.
want a picture of like
Are
the
you
local
stereotyping
club.
people from other parts of the country that you're not familiar with, Keith?
No, I know there are a lot of cows in Vermont.
All right, we're coming back from break in
Oh.
5, 4, 3, 2.
And we're back, and we're going to take your tweets and messages.
Well,
All
that's
right,
done.
we're taking our tweets and messages. Now it's time for our next topic.
Are you sure we're live? Are you sure we're live?
I tested the liveness of the feed. Wait, did I say midterm elections or not? Midterm elections. I got a little
Okay,
distracted
for
there.
God's sake, if you're watching this live, tweet us. If you're watching this live, tweet us so that we know it worked.
Just say I can see you. That's all you got to say.
Yeah, that's all you got to say. Just say, I can see you. Say it in capital letters in a creepy fashion.
I'm watching you.
I'm outside your house right now. Say that to John. Not now. Wait till about 2 in the morning.
Well, that's too late. 'Cause we won't know now if we're broadcasting live.
No, but I think if you get that tweet at 2 in the morning, you're going to be up.
Oh, I got a special deal. If you are watching this from Vermont, now it's not going to be live.
It's not live in Vermont because
But- They don't get my show till like
Yeah, they've been
tomorrow.
asleep for like 4 hours in Vermont.
If you were in Vermont and you see this show on your television, not from the YouTube, but like someone in Vermont is broadcasting it and you're getting it on your TV,
Well, it's over cable, so it wouldn't be broadcast. But
Yeah,
go
yeah.
on.
tweet us and you will get a free T-shirt. I'll send you a free T-shirt.
First
If
person.
you were in
first
Vermont,
person from Vermont.
It says, "I
You
saw
gotta call,
you
have to
on."
call John on the phone and talk in a Vermont
You got to say what
accent.
station you heard it on,
Yeah.
and then I will somehow send you a T-shirt.
Yeah. I offered a free T-shirt to someone that watched my show about 8 years ago.
Hey, we got a tweet.
I've never sent a free T-shirt to anyone.
Oh, I can see you, says Timo. I think he's a guy from work.
Okay, he's not in Vermont.
No, he gets
So
Timo gets no
Timo gets no shirt.
T-shirt.
Well, you could give him a shirt.
No. I'll make him this deal. If he has a baby in the next like 2 weeks, well, not him, like his wife.
Yeah.
I will give a onesie. I have onesies with the John
With the
Wants Answers logo on it.
Yes. Yes.
So I'll give him one.
Tell a story.
Why 2 weeks? Why is there a time limit? Like, what if it's 21 days? I mean, do
Well-
you want the child to grow up with the kind of pressure like you could have
I
had a
have.
John Wants Answers if you didn't stick in there an extra 4 days?
I have some John Wants Answers onesies.
Yes.
And I think in the next 21 days, I might find someone else who had a baby. I might give it to them, which is why I'm kind of giving him a time limit. You might wonder, why do I have a John Wants Answers onesie in my desk at work?
No, actually, that didn't cross my mind at all.
Well, let me tell you the story. So, I'm talking with some friends at work.
Yes.
And now, apparently these friends, without me, had gone to lunch together.
Yes, that's why we got to put friends in quotes every time
And-
you say it.
And I'm told, and then I see them, and they said, oh yeah, Kelly's her name, Kelly told us at lunch that she's expecting a child.
Okay.
And I go, oh wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so I thought, this would be nice. I will get a onesie
A
with
onesie
my show's name on it.
Okay. So
And I will
not
present it-
not as nice, but still.
No, it's a gift. It costs me money. I don't get these for free.
I'm just going to say,
It costs me money.
if you want to help out a new parent,
Uh-huh.
offer to babysit for an evening, or
No parent's going to
deliver-
trust me with their child.
That's true. Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
I forgot.
So I ordered her a onesie with my logo on it.
Yeah.
And then I go and present it to her.
I can see the badness already coming.
So apparently, what happened was she was lying to me, basically. So at lunch, when they had lunch together, she ordered 2 sandwiches.
Okay.
Someone else made the joke that she's eating for 2.
Yes.
And they all had a good laugh. And I wasn't there. So they're trying to prank me and say, oh, did you hear the news? Kelly's having a baby.
A baby.
And so I got suckered in, and so I bought her one, and she like kind of laughed at me. Well, she didn't really laugh. Yeah, she laughed at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she goes, well, that's really sweet, but I'm not having a baby. So then she just gave it away. Just gave it away to somebody else.
Was that
Well-
person having a baby?
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so
that
that's
person's
great.
wife
That's-
was having a baby.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice. I
So
mean, there's
someone-
a child somewhere that has your picture on it, so that part's a little weird, but
Yes.
I mean, what are you going to do?
I tell Kelly, this is what I tell Kelly on Thursdays. Well, I didn't tell her that today because she had her headphones on. But usually on Thursdays when I have a show, I say, if you don't come to the audience, I'm going to tell stories about you.
Wow.
Because I think
So
she
you've
would
been
not.
threatening her. You've been threatening her.
Yes. I don't think she would like me telling stories about her.
John's opinions do not represent those of his employer.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that. Anyways, that's a long walk to midterm elections.
Yeah.
They're called midterms because they're not presidential elections.
Yes.
They're between.
They're in the middle
of
of presidential terms.
Of a term, yeah. We'll be voting for both Congress people and senators.
It depends on where you lived, but yes,
Because
many places.
Congress people, every 2 years.
Every 2 years,
we elect
every
them.
seat in Congress
Every
is
single
up.
election, we put them up again.
Yeah.
Senators,
6 years.
6 years. What
So
a
since
weird
you only
number.
have 2 senators in a state,
Uh-huh.
since they generally try to have them not be elected at the same time,
That means 2.
that means 1 out of every 3 elections doesn't have a senator in it.
Uh-huh. So that one was this
So
one
some
for us,
states,
for California.
California did not have a senator on the ballot.
Yeah, so I did not vote for a senator. Did the Democrats lose seats in both
They
houses?
did, yeah.
In both
it's sad.
houses?
Yeah, both houses.
So now the Republicans control both.
Yeah, well, yes.
Well, yes. That
I mean,
means
really, there's the Republican Party and the Tea Party, and
well, that kind of
Republicans don't have enough seats to control the House.
No?
And the Tea Party doesn't have enough seats to control
But
the
they're
House.
the same party.
They've got to work together.
The Tea Party people.
No, they're different parties,
are-
right? Because if they were the same party, they'd just both be Republicans.
They're Republicans.
But the
If
Tea
you-
Parties are very happy that they're
there's-
Tea Party people.
There's dude, and in parentheses R, and there's dude parentheses D, and
Yeah,
then there's
dude
like
parentheses
independent.
crazy. Dude parentheses crazy.
No. Does this mean that Obamacare is going to be repealed?
Yeah, it seems unlikely.
So to repeal it, they have to pass it
In both
in
houses.
the House, and they always pass it in the
Yeah,
House, right?
yeah. Well,
in the Congress,
like
in the-
18 times.
House of Representatives always passes it.
Yeah.
Up until now, the Senate doesn't pass it.
The Senate, yeah.
But now they might pass it.
No, because it's still filibuster.
Oh, because the Democrats can stop it.
Yeah.
Why would they bother? Because after that point, the president has to sign it, right?
Yeah.
He's
And
not
he
going
can
to
just
sign
veto
it.
He's not going to
He's
sign
going
it.
to veto it, right?
Yeah.
So
But
they
it's,
should
it's easier to filibuster, right?
Is it easier to filibuster?
Yeah, just one senator says, hey, I would filibuster this bill if you tried to bring it up.
That's what you got to do
It's like
now?
a 2-minute conversation.
Back in my day,
Yeah, back in your day in
back
Canada.
they had to sit there and stand and talk for like, as many
Ever,
hours
forever.
as it takes for
Yeah,
it
yeah.
to stop. Man. Congress people
This country's
today,
screwed up. This
Yeah.
country's screwed up, people.
It's going to hell in a handbasket. I've heard, this is what I've heard on the
Okay,
street.
okay.
Democrats lost because they did not brag enough about their accomplishments. They turned the economy around.
Yeah.
They created so many jobs.
Quite a number, yeah.
They made affordable health care.
They did.
No one has, Osama bin Laden has not killed anybody because we killed him first. All these things we did.
Well, he did
Any
kill
more
some
people.
people.
We didn't kill any more people.
He didn't
since
kill any more
the-
people
This
since
is the big
he was
time.
dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we didn't brag about that enough, I guess, and that's why.
Probably part of it. Redistricting in 2010 hurt
Yeah.
in many states. Generally, in a 2-term presidency, in the 6th year of the presidency, that president almost always loses seats
Yeah.
in one or both houses because it's a tough time. And in the Senate, at least, there were many more Democratic senators that were up for
for
election or
election.
had announced retirement. 2 years from now, there are more Republican senators up than Democratic senators.
Oh, so many things.
So
have
2
changed.
years from now, it could all change again. I mean, 2 years ago, they were writing the obituaries for the Republican Party. This year, they're writing the obituaries for the Democratic Party. In all practice, our system requires there to be 2 parties that seem to be in opposition to one another, but largely make sure that well-off people continue to do well.
Is Congress going to get anything more done?
No,
now?
not a thing.
'Cause if-
All the same people are there, and they've gotten
Yeah.
nothing done for the last 2 years.
I'm being told it's we need to wrap up pretty soon.
Like gun control. They did nothing on gun control.
One last question. Can the president just use executive orders and bypass Congress?
For some things.
What can he use an executive order for, and what can't he?
That's a deeper question than we really have time to answer. And
Yeah. There's only a lot of complaints that he's been doing a lot more of this executive orders.
well,
than he would
he's
like
passed fewer of them than
than Mr. Bush
either Mr. Bush.
and Mr. Clinton.
Well, then the first Mr. Bush didn't have 2 terms, but
I was looking at the Wikipedia.
yeah,
It's a great source of information.
yeah, it is.
Theodore-
Some of it's true.
Theodore Roosevelt, man, that guy was doing 1,300 of them.
Yeah,
executive
yeah,
orders a year.
yeah, it's crazy.
All right. Well, it's been swell talking to you guys. Our next episode, you might think our next episode is December 11th, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would think that.
I would be in Canada. I'm seeing Holly Cole and Lawrence Gowan. So I'm not going to be here. So our next show is January 8th. Stay tuned for What the Bleep and Atlas of Thoughts on HisNet. I have no idea what that show is. That show sounds really crazy.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, Jim, What the Bleep? Am I on it tonight? No, not tonight. Okay. Good show.